Pittsburgh and the Titans. That's the number one game. This should have been Sunday Night Football.
Yes.
I think they should move this to Sunday Night Football.
Not the Seattle game.
Roger Goodell is not one of those smart guys, that's for sure. But this is the best game of the week. There's no question that it is. The Steelers, who I think have played unbelievable defensively, they have a superstar in Claypool that has come out of nowhere from Notre Dame. I knew he was good, but I didn't think he was this good. And I think everybody forgets about Juju. Juju has been their best wide receiver really since Antonio Brown fled and went on his merry way wherever, to Little House on the Prairie, wherever the heck he went. But maybe in his eyes he went to Little House on the Prairie. And the Titans, who have been an unbelievable offensive team this year. The running game with Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this year. It's been unbelievable what the Tennessee Titans have done. This is the game that sticks out to me the most. This is battle of the 5-0 teams.
Yeah, remember, there was a time when Adam Gase said about Ryan Tannehill, he wasn't smart enough to be in my offense. So I think that's a comment that – you look back on it and you say, maybe Adam Gase wasn't smart enough to coach me. So you can look back at it that way.
I don't think Adam Gase is smart enough to be in his own offense. Okay.
I don't think he's smart enough to tie his own shoe. Okay. So
I think he's lost, but that's all. And here's a game that really sticks out to me in bad ways more than good. You have the Cowboys going to the Washington football team. That's going to be a fun game to watch. I mean, the Cowboys can slowly but surely move to first, winning this game, but something tells me the Washington football team is going to find a way to win this game. Something tells me that the Cowboys, Andy Dalton did not look good, and that defense looks horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Overpaid Lawrence and Smith, and now you have Van Der Esch, who wants a lot of money. He's going to want a lot of money in the offseason. I don't know if he's going to get it because he's coming off a major surgery. So I don't know. I think the Cowboys are going to be very surprised by this Washington football team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the hire of Michael Nolan was essentially Mike McCarthy giving back to Mike Nolan after Mike Nolan hired him in San Francisco as his offensive coordinator. That was Mike McCarthy basically giving him the, giving it back to him, saying, hey, you could come and be my defensive coordinator. It was a terrible hire from the get-go because he doesn't fit the scheme that these players are used to. That's why I thought maybe you just keep Rod Marinelli or even Chris Richard. Chris Richard should have been the one they should have kept. But I think the Washington football team is going to surprise people. Zach Martin's now out with a concussion, so that offensive line is a complete disaster. I think Chase Young is going to have a field day in this game. You're going to see it. And Andy Dalton was atrocious in that offense. I mean, it just couldn't. I mean, can you have any more weapons that look that bad? And I think the bigger question is, can Ezekiel Elliott hold on to the football? That's his most fumbles he's ever lost in his NFL career. So is his confidence officially gone with Dak being out for the year?
Back-to-back NFC games. The Panthers and the Saints and the Packers and the Texans. Well, obviously the Texans are an AFC game. But, again, I look at the Panthers. The Panthers have looked good week in and week out. Last week they came off a really they played a very good team and a team that completely surprised them. Really surprised them. Yeah. And the Saints, they have not looked good all season long. Drew Brees looks old. And, yes, Michael Thomas is back, but Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara can't do everything. This defense is a good defense. But in certain parts of the game, especially in the fourth quarter, you see this defense get tired. And if the Saints defense can't hold up, they're not winning anything this year. And the Green Bay Packers, even though they came off a bad loss last week, they're playing a Texan team that's played better. They're playing a lot better. And Deshaun Watson is looking like the superstar that we thought he was going to be. I wouldn't be so surprised if the Packers lose back-to-back weeks going into Houston.
I would be stunned. I think the Packers are way too talented. Their defense is very underrated, I think, in my opinion. I mean, you look at it, Mike Pennant's done a great job over there in Green Bay. I'm not worried about the Packers one bit. I think they're going to I shouldn't say easily win the NFC North, but I think they will win the NFC North. I think they're one of the favorites coming out of the NFC. As far as the Saints are concerned, I mean, I'm hearing Michael Thomas might not even play this game now with another injury, they're saying, which leads me to believe if this is it, which it looks like it can be for Drew Brees at this point, that's another team. I don't want to hear that if Taysom Hill is their future quarterback for the Saints.
He is.
I just don't see it. I don't. I think Sam Darnold needs to be considered for the Saints. I do. I think
they're going to have to
look at.
Have to open up their pockets.
Yeah, and the thing is, with Michael Thomas being the way he is, with Drew Brees older, and who knows if Sean Payton's going to be around much longer being here. I think it might be starting to segue into another regime in New Orleans. I think that's just the way the Saints fans are going to have to deal with it. And I think it just might be time to move on at this point. So we'll see.
All right, Speedy. We're not going to go through all the games because you're going to make us do our top 5 picks. So let's go.
Three games?
5 games, Speedy.
All right, Bears, Rams.
Go ahead, Josh.
Bears, Rams. I'm going to go Rams in this one. I think the Rams are just going to maul Nick Foles. I think Aaron Donald to me is going to dominate. And I like where the Rams are right now. I know they lost that one game to Buffalo early in the year, but they almost did win that game. I think the Bears are so overrated in my opinion. So I'm going to go Rams.
Well, they're going to L.A., but I like the Bears. I really do. I think their defense has shown me week in and week out they can compete with anybody. You have Khalil Mack versus Aaron Donald, the two arguably best defensive players in football on the defensive lines. But I like Nick Foles. I like what this team has done. They're getting better and better every week. Allen Robinson. This is a good team. This is a really good team. Very underrated.
I just find them overrated, I think, because of Nick Foles.
They're underrated.
Nick Foles is a nice player, but I don't think he moves the needle that much in my
I'm gonna take the Bears in this game. I like the Bears. I think it's gonna be a close game, but all in all, I think the Bears are gonna be. If this is a close game, I give it to the Bears. If it's a game where the Rams get a 14-0 lead or 13-0 lead, yes, the Rams are gonna win. Even if the Bears come closer, if they're playing catch up, they're not gonna win. But if they're in the lead, they're winning. I'm gonna take the Bears in this game. 17-16.
All right, Seahawks, Cardinals.
All right. I mean,
It's gonna be a good game.
I think it's going to be a great game. But I just think Seattle, look, Sunday night, Russell Wilson, Carroll, doesn't matter. Does it really – I mean, is it even a debate at this point? What's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. You know the Seahawks are going to win this game. They're going to find a way to win this game. I'm going Seahawks in this one. Wilson's playing on another level right now. He's the favorite in my eyes to win the MVP. So I'm going to go Seattle.
I'm going with Seattle, too. Arizona is a team that really stands out to me because of what they did the last couple of weeks, especially what they did against the Jets, even though the Jets stink. I got to see Kyler Murray right in front of my eyes. I think Kyler Murray is a good player. I think the offensive line has gotten a lot better. He hasn't really even understand how to use DeAndre Hopkins yet. When he figures that out, DeAndre Hopkins is going to be so explosive. I think they're still trying to figure things out going into week number 7. And also, I just think that Seattle has been as offensively sound as any team in the NFL right now. Russell Wilson has been the best quarterback in the league. He's just been incredible. And DK Metcalf looks like, he thinks he's Jerry Rice, which I think is out of his damn mind.
I was going to say he's top 5 receiver at this point.
Absolutely he is. I wanted the Jets to draft him in the second round. They decided to pass up on him. But that's a whole nother story. But I have Seattle in this game. I think it's going to be close, especially that it's in Arizona. I'm going to say 21-17 Seattle.
All right, Bucks, Raiders.
I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to say Vegas in this one. I believe the Raiders, they had a bye week last week, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect timing for the Raiders to get that win. I love teams always coming off a bye. They're fresh. They're feeling good. They game plan for 2 weeks. So, and of course, if Antonio Brown, if this news is true that he does sign, I don't think he's going to play, but I think you're going to try to get him into as many practices as possible. I think when you look at that, I don't like somebody coming in and ruining the chemistry that Tampa kind of has right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to go Vegas in this one. And, of course, Vegas would love to just dominate Tom Brady and everything, especially Gruden for the, still upset about the Tuck rule.
I'm going with Vegas, too. I think they're the home team. Derek Carr has been sensational this year. A lot of people don't even look at him. He's been an MVP candidate, too. He's been really, really good. Top 5 quarterback in the league. Statistics will show you that. And this team, offensively, they have one of the best young running backs in the league. They are explosive on the outside. They have the best tight end in football in my eyes, which still they think it's Kittle. I do not. I think it's Waller. He's been the best tight end in football. So I'm going with the Raiders. I think it'll be close all the way to the end of the game, and then the Raiders will pull away 30-23.
Panthers, Saints.
Who's the home team, Speedy? Saints? I'll give the Saints in this one. I don't think the Saints can afford to lose this game. I think it's going to be closer than people think. Listen, I respect Joe Brady a lot. Errol, you know this last week when I said on the show, I think Joe Brady's a name that we need to start we need to start respecting around the league, and I think his name is going to come up in coaching searches as well. But I think the Saints have to win this game. If they don't win this game, I think almost you can make the case their season is done at this point. I really believe that. So the
So he's
Saints are
got
gonna
the
win this game.
Saints. I got the Saints too. They're at home. Drew Brees needs to play a big game. I think this will be the first game that he throws 350 yards this season. Crazy to say that too. Drew Brees throwing 350 yards in a game. I think this week he will against a very talented Panther defense that's played very well in the secondary this year. But I think he's going to be able to throw against them in New Orleans. So I'm going to take the Saints. I'm going to say the Saints win the game 40-21.
All right, battle of the undefeated. Steelers, Titans.
Last game.
I'm going to go Titans. I love where Tennessee is right now. I think they're clicking on all cylinders. Not that Pittsburgh isn't, but I think the loss of Devin Bush is a huge one for them, and they don't have a replacement for him yet. Like I said, I think Avery Williamson would fit in very nicely into Pittsburgh. But I'm going to go – I think Tennessee is just clicking right now. Yeah, they have a short week because they played on Monday, and I get that and I understand that. But at the same time, look at what they've done against really good teams this year. Tannehill's playing on another level. Derrick Henry's the best running back in football. They're so well coached. Arthur Jones and Mike Vrabel, the combo offensively and defensively has been sensational. Tennessee is one of the favorites for the Super Bowl this year in my eyes. I see them. They're legit Super Bowl contenders. So I'm going to go Titans.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. Benny Raffi. Yes, I'm going with Benny Roth. He's played sensational ever since coming back from his shoulder injury. I like this kid Claypool. They have a running game. They have one of the best underrated offensive lines in football. Their defense is kicking on all cylinders. Yes, they lost Devin Bush. That is going to affect them. They still have Mr. Watt. They still have a sensational secondary that's played very well. Mika Fitzpatrick, who had a pick 6 last week. I think they played very well. I think they're the better team. I think they're going to show Tennessee that as good as they've played for the last really half a year last year and full year this year, that they're the better team. Pittsburgh wins the game on a close game. They absolutely shut down Derrick Henry too. They shut him down. I'm going to say 26-21. And those are our picks of the week. And as you know, I did kick the living you-know-what out of CJ DeSimone last week. I plan to do the same for Mr. Josh.
Not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Crazy talk. That's crazy talk.
It is coming, baby.
Speaking of stench,
Gotta go to the bathroom?
I smell a bunch of hogwash and lies from Mr. Errol Marks after
Well,
that comment.
that's coming, baby. That's coming.